welcome to New, Old, and Songs Untold. I am your host, Nick, joined with my co-host, Anna. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Today we have episode 28, which is we're going to do a reaction episode based off of Rolling Stone's 2011, where it was updated, Top 100 Artists of All Time.
Yeah, so it was made in 2004. Or I think it was published in 2004 and 2005 and then updated in 2011. Yep. So this is kind of similar to the 500 Greatest Albums episode, but it's just artists instead of albums.
Yep.
But it's the same magazine that put it out.
And yeah, so how they were kind of picked, basically they went to writers and industry executives
and musicians
and asked them kind of to pick the most influential artist of the rock and roll era to get this list.
Yeah.
So each it's actually kind of cool on the website that we're going to be using, obviously Rolling Stone's website. Each artist kind of wrote a different artist wrote excerpt about the artist that is on the list.
Yeah, so
cool.
So each little thing is about. It's like Britney Spears wrote one about Madonna. Like it's famous people who wrote the little information about the artists that are on the list.
So we're going to be going through, I think, all 100, and then I hope you guys enjoy it. And we're kind of just going to give our initial reactions. We did not look at the list yet.
No, this is all new and a surprise to us.
So, all right, shall we get into it?
Yeah.
Number 100 is the Talking Heads.
Nice. I like the Talking Heads a lot. I feel like they're definitely not for everyone, though.
No, I only know a few songs by them.
Yeah.
But I know they're obviously pretty famous, So yeah, 100 was Talking Heads. 99, Carl Perkins.
Don't know who that is.
The Expert is written by Tom Petty.
Yeah.
So
he seems old. He seems like he's in the 50s.
Blues,
yeah. 50s rock and roll, it says.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. So it was 99, Carl Perkins. 98, Curtis Mayfield.
Okay, that makes sense.
Late 50s, early 60s. Was he blues? It doesn't look. He doesn't look familiar.
Well, he had one of the. He's kind of blues or soul. I would call him more.
Gotcha.
It's hard to define with genres.
I would agree. All right, 97. the episode that we never aired that prepared for REM.
That you loved so much.
I disagree. I don't think they should be the top 100 artists of all time.
That's fair. They kind of started the whole college rock. They had the early alternative rock of stuff.
But in my eyes,
80s,
they didn't
late
have
80s.
a good album till their 6th album. So
Automatic for the People is my favorite by them.
Yeah, that one's that's because they have 20 freaking albums.
Yeah,
so I didn't realize how old it came up to be. But
they have some good individual songs.
Yeah,
maybe not as albums.
I would agree, for sure.
Losing My Religion.
Yep.
The One I Love.
I don't remember.
It's the End of the World.
Yep, it's the end of the world
as
we know it.
Yeah.
And I feel fine.
Yes.
All right.
Who sang the cover of that?
I don't know.
Someone sang a cover of it, and it is definitely newer and sounded much different.
That's funny. All right, that was 97. REM. 96 is Diana Ross and the Supremes.
Okay, so it's and the Supremes. So it's not. They're just kind of grouping them together. I guess that makes sense because Diana Ross had a pretty decent solo career as well, but I was definitely very famous with the Supremes.
Definitely deserving top 100. 95 is Leonard Skinner.
I do not like Leonard Skinner.
I love Leonard Skinner. And I think it makes sense that they're on the list because they've made a lot of music and a lot in that kind of genre of music, a lot of good music.
Yeah, that's true.
So I know they're definitely not for everybody, but
no.
Might still be a future podcast though.
Probably.
All right.
At some point.
94 is 9 Inch Nails.
I've never really gotten into 9 Inch Nails.
David Bowie wrote the article.
That's pretty interesting.
I mean,
obviously when he was still alive.
Yes, that's some high praise though.
Wow. If
Yeah,
Bowie says they're good, then they must be good.
Nine Inch Nails. Yeah, I don't really know too much about them musically.
I don't either.
All right, 93 is Booker T and the MGs.
I've heard of them, but I don't know their music.
A southern funk flavor. So it's like the Motown era, but in the South. Seems like that's kind of what the Motown took care of the North with their polished sound, and MGs were gritty and raw.
Gotcha.
And they could really groove.
I love the word groove to describe any music ever.
It's such a weird. It's like, is that good or bad?
It's groovy.
All right, number 92 is Guns N' Roses.
Nice.
Definitely, yeah.
They have one of the best debut albums of all time, Appetite for Destruction. That was a pretty amazing album. It almost plays as just like a greatest hits album.
Yeah. All right, number 91 is Tom Petty.
Tom Petty.
And I definitely agree. I think he probably should be higher up on this, but
yeah, he's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It was written by Stevie Nicks. So obviously she's a fan. That's pretty cool.
He said, well, I just read the first sentence, but she said that in 1976, I've been playing in Fleetwood Mac for about a year. When I heard Tom Petty's debut, I became a fan right then.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree, though. He's a fantastic artist, and I think should be higher, but we'll see. I don't know who else is going to be on.
Who do you think is going to be the number one?
I'm guessing the Beatles.
I'm guessing the Beatles, too.
I'm just,
Yeah.
All right, number 90 is Carlos Santana.
Yeah, he's an amazing guitar player.
That absolutely.
He's at Woodstock.
Black Magic Woman, though, that's such a good song.
Yeah.
All right, number 89, the Yardbirds.
Ooh, the Yardbirds.
So they're a British band.
Yeah, so the Yardbirds are kind of interesting. They weren't around for very long, but they had a lot of famous guitarists who kind of circled through the lineup. And Jimmy Page was one of them. So when Led Zeppelin was kind of starting, they were actually called like the Yardbirds, like 2.0 almost.
Yeah, there's a pretty big display and like information about them at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think Jeff Beck was also. Yeah, it says Jeff Beck was also in the Yardbirds at one point. Yeah, I haven't really listened to their music, but it's 60s rock. It probably isn't bad.
No, I've listened to some. I've listened to some, and it's definitely understandable for like I don't get into all of it for sure, because I think that's a lot of British 60s rock can be hit or miss depending. Not hit or miss, but like I think it's like any music,
Yeah, and just seeing like the lineup, I feel like it is probably good because it's people who have gone off to make other amazing music.
True. All right, number 88 is Jay-Z. Wow,
I'm kind of surprised that a newer artist was on this list, but
yeah.
Just because Rolling Stones has kind of the reputation of being kind of an older demographic.
I guess we'll see if there's any other rap artists on this list.
Yeah.
There's got.
Because if there's not, then like Jay-Z is the best
I know,
theoretically, which
that's just not.
I don't know.
Not true. But
it was written by Ezra Koenig, which is the lead singer for Vampire Weekend, which is kind of interesting.
All right, 87. It's Graham Parsons.
Okay.
I don't know who this is.
I've heard the name.
It sounds familiar. Yeah.
Is he part of the Byrds?
Yes. See, when they write these like tributes, it's not really informational. They're just tributes from. This one's from Keith Richards.
Yeah, they're kind of just personal stories about him. It's not actually.
Yeah, he was in the Byrds. He quit at some point.
Yeah.
But.
And the Flying Burrito Brothers, which I've also heard about. Yeah, I don't know any of his music, but the Byrds are one of my faves. I like the Byrds a lot.
Gotcha. He was apparently around Mick Jagger while they were making Exile on Main Street. So
interesting.
Very interesting.
Oh,
86 is Tupac.
Okay.
And yeah, definitely.
He was very influential.
He was, and I definitely agree with him being on the top 100 list, for sure. I'm surprised he's actually not higher, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, 85 is
Okay.
Black Sabbath, which we talked about.
Yep, we just had an episode not too long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're I mean, I feel like their music's pretty good. It also was just very like influential because it just took rock in a whole different direction than it was going.
And they were around forever. So
yeah,
I think a lot of these bands are going to be like that, but they were actually like around.
Yeah, and it's one of those bands that inspired so much more music.
Dave
Navarro. He sounds familiar. Who's that guy?
He was a drummer for somewhere. I'm pretty sure he was the guy that did the tattoo show on MTV. But he was in a What band was he in?
Jane's Addiction.
Yeah. He's more, I think, actually more famously for his tattoo show that was on MTV.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, what's it called? I forgot. Or it's on Spike. I don't remember.
Gotcha.
All right, 84 is James Taylor.
Yeah, I don't really like James Taylor that much, but I haven't listened to him a lot.
Yeah, I don't know.
For that kind of like folky 60s kind of like soft rock stuff, he's not my go-to, I would say. He's not like bad, but he's just like, I don't know, maybe he's overplayed. What's his one song that's played literally all the time? Fire and Rain.
Yeah, I can't think of a James Taylor song right now in my brain.
Yeah, you probably know that song if you heard it.
Alright, number 83 is Eminem, which
The weirdest part of this is that the
it's by Elton John.
It's by Elton John.
Yeah, but apparently they've like made up.
Are they like friends or something?
Yeah, like
I have no idea.
No, so Eminem famously like kind of went after Elton John on one of his songs, very like homophobic remarks Eminem made.
Oh.
And I think they since then kind of
reconciled. One of the lines is Eminem is a true poet of his time.
Which is interesting. I think
I don't know. I just don't know.
I think saying he's better than Tupac is wild.
Yeah.
And if that's how you're rating that, I think he's
because lyrically he is very like interesting and intricate. His rhymes are very.
He also had his time though too, because his new music nowadays I don't like at all. And
no.
I'm a big Eminem fan generally.
Me too. I like him a lot. I just feel like he's not the best. There's 3
albums he has that are so freaking good. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it's interesting. Yeah. We'll see.
And it's another artist where like he kind of changed. I mean, his style of rapping is very different.
The late '90s, the early 2000s kind of.
Yeah. So he does stand out for sure.
All right, 82 is CCR.
Yep. Creedence Clearwater Revival.
There's no chance of trying
I know.
that episode. We also did them. And yes. I agree. I completely agree. I love CCR.
No, they're great.
They're awesome. I don't think we've already talked about them quite a bit, so we don't need to.
We've said our opinions about
81 them. Is the Drifters.
I've heard of the Drifters, but I do not know. I don't know their music.
I don't either. All right, number 80 is Elvis Costello.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's kind of like rock, but it's a little bit different. You maybe heard one of his songs, Allison.
I might have. I honestly you've talked about him more. I just know him more from you talking about him than me actually listening to his music. No, yeah,
he's got an interesting sound, and I feel like it makes sense why he's up here.
Gotcha. All right, number 79 is the Four Tops.
Never heard of them.
Oh, yeah, I don't know either.
They're probably like a 60s group.
Looks like gospel and R&B kind of group.
Makes sense.
Or they did Motown, R&B, but they sung like a gospel group.
Yeah, they're Motown, R&B. So they're kind of that sound.
All right, number 78, the Stooges.
Yes, I love the Stooges. They're so good. They were kind of like the precursors to like punk rock, basically. Yeah. They were very early like punk, so I feel like they're just pioneers of their time.
We've kind of talked about them before.
Yeah.
We haven't done an episode on them, but
we will. We will.
We will at some point.
That's obviously with like Iggy Pop Eventually, it's like Iggy Pop and the Stooges, but yeah, great band.
All right, 77 is the Beastie Boys.
The Beastie Boys. That seems kind of high.
I think that's also high.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know. I mean
I know they're definitely like I like them a lot. I don't know if I'd say the top best 100 artists of all time. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes there are songs that are a little bit annoying.
Yeah, and I guess maybe I haven't listened to the full
I've never listened to like a full album.
Yeah, so I don't really know.
And also like it's very 80s and 90s and it's I don't know, it doesn't appeal to me in like now, but
and it's interesting that
the Daryl McDaniels of DMC
wrote it.
Run DMC.
Which is also they might be on this, but I don't know. I'm curious. They probably should, but
but who knows?
All right, on to 76 is the Shirley's. Is that how you say that?
The Shirleys.
Shirley's. I've never seen Shirley's spelled.
I don't. I've heard of them, but I don't know how to say.
Shirelles.
I think it's the Shirleys. Yeah.
60s.
Yeah, they have like a one hit song. I don't remember which one.
I don't know too much. I mean, they're like Motown groups.
Yeah, it's more Motown groups, which is interesting because not that they're like bad, but they're all kind of very similar.
They are.
And I feel like they would maybe, for like a top 100 artists of all time, they'd maybe pick ones that are a little bit more diverse. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you find the song?
I was just trying to find the song. I don't remember which.
Yeah, we've had a lot of Motowns on the list already.
Yes, yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting from this list, which isn't like a bad thing, but they're all kind of in the same vein of music and time period. I don't know what the.
All right, we will move on to
hit was.
Number 75. Then is the Eagles. Well, I like how it says Eagles.
It's not the Eagles.
It's not. It's just Eagles.
No, it's just Eagles.
I always thought it was the Eagles for some reason. The Eagles.
Nope,
no,
it's just Eagles.
Cheryl Crow wrote the.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Wrote the article here, the little excerpt. Yeah.
Yeah, the Eagles. I don't know. I go back and forth. I really like their music, but at the same time, I don't know. Some of it is like very surface level kind of.
Yeah, I haven't listened to
easy
obviously.
Listening,
like,
I guess you
I
could
haven't
say.
listened to obviously like a lot of these artists. I know their hits, so I think the Eagles' hits are very good. I don't know album wise. I couldn't tell you. Album.
I listened to like Hotel California, which is one of my favorite album covers. I love that album cover. It's so cool looking.
All right, 74 is Hank Williams, and I'm not surprised. He's one of the kind of pioneers for country music.
Yeah,
so.
Interestingly, Beck wrote the excerpts for this one.
It is actually pretty interesting, but I'm not surprised. I'm sure his son's probably on this list too. Because his son Hank Williams Jr. is.
They're both pretty influential in
country, and Hank Williams Jr. I think is liked a lot more just like he made a little better music than his father. So.
Ooh. Call it Hank Williams Sr.
I also just think he's more popular. Because he's older, so not surprising.
Makes sense.
All right, number 3 or 73. Number 3 just skipped 7 spots. Number 3. Gee, I did it again. Number 73 is Radiohead. Sure, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
We've talked about Radiohead before, where we don't really get it, but that doesn't mean they're bad. I can recognize that they're really good. I just haven't like gotten super into them.
All right, number 72 is AC/DC.
Yep. Akadaka.
Yeah, Akadaka. I definitely, I like them. I like AC/DC. I know you're not the biggest fan.
Yeah,
of AC/DC,
they're not my favorite. I don't hate them, but like they're just. As far as hard rock goes, I wouldn't go for them.
I really like them, so yeah, glad to see them on the list. It makes sense to me. Number 71 is Frank Zappa.
Ah.
I don't know who this is.
You don't know? You've never heard of Frank Zappa?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's a pretty popular.
Gotcha.
I mean, I haven't listened to him, but.
Oh, Sultans of Sing? Is that him?
No.
Why did they say? They did 2 covers. Gotcha.
No, that's Dire Straits.
That's what I thought. I was like, wait, that's all right.
Yeah.
Number 70 is the Police.
Yeah, I could see that. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy how like all the sound of their band came out of 3 people. Like they're literally just 3 people.
That is pretty
Back
crazy.
when like bands like they played every instrument. Like nowadays you have 3 people. There could be other things happening.
Yeah.
But that was when like the band made all the music, and it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Number 69 is Jackie Wilson.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, neither have I.
Keep it rolling.
Number 68 is The Temptations.
Yeah, see a lot of Motown.
I think they're good. I like The Temptations.
I like The Temptations too. My Girl.
Yep, My Girl. Yep. All right, number 67 is Cream.
Yes. Cream is really good. So that was the band that Eric Clapton was in before. They only made 3 albums.
Gotcha.
But they're just
What's the one
really
song?
good.
I can't think of it.
Sunshine of Your Love.
Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yep.
I think so.
Or White Room, maybe.
White Room, I think, is what I was thinking
Yeah. Those are their most popular songs.
of. Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, such a good band.
All right, number 66 is Al Green.
Yeah, I could see that. Let's Stay Together is his most famous song. But yeah, his voice is just amazing.
All right, number 65 is the Kinks.
Yeah, I haven't really listened too much to the Kinks.
I mean, they have their like classics. Like there's a couple songs.
Yeah, they have that one album that's really famous. It's like Village something, Village Green Preservation Society. There it is. I've heard of that one before.
All right, number 64 is Phil Spector.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
I don't know either. It's hard to tell like age-wise too because this list they decided to illustrate all these people.
Yeah, so we don't really know. I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
Seems old.
Yes.
Is the only conclusion I can come
Yes, definitely.
up with.
All right, 63 is Tina Turner.
Really? That seems not that she's bad, but
Are you surprised she's on the top 100?
yeah, I'm surprised she's on the top 100.
It was written by Janet Jackson.
Yeah, not surprising. It's interesting to see who wrote it actually, because they obviously were very influenced, and you can definitely tell.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that makes sense.
Number 62 is
Are you gonna say her name?
you could go.
No, you can say it. I was just gonna have a comment.
Joni Mitchell.
That she's criminally low on this list. I am just disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean she's one of my favorites, obviously.
Yeah.
So I expected to see her higher, but.
All right, number 61 is Metallica.
Yeah, I don't really like Metallica, but I can see why they're on.
I mean,
here.
they were very popular and for sure, and still are very popular. Number 60
really?
is the Sex Pistols.
That's interesting. So they literally came out with one album, and they're a UK punk. They kind of, I mean, they spawned the whole UK punk scene basically, but they only came out with one album, and it's it's a punk album.
Yeah. All right, number 59 is Aerosmith.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
I'm not the biggest fan of Aerosmith.
No, I also, yeah.
Yeah,
That's all I got to say about that. All right, number 58 is Parliament and the Funkadelic.
They're kind of like different iterations of the same band, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I like some of their stuff. It's like funk, kind of.
It was written by Ice Cube.
Yeah, the classic.
Classic. All right, number 57.
Oh.
The Grateful Dead. All you deadheads out there.
Yeah, I feel like I should listen to them at some point, but I just have never.
I feel like they have like the most cult following.
They do.
Like
they
definitely had like the most
cult
cult following.
And the thing about listening to their albums is that they were such a jam band, so like everything they did was all about performance and like in the moment improvisation. So I feel like listening to their albums, I don't know if it would be the same.
I would agree. All right, number 56 is Dr. Dre.
Okay, I feel like that kind of makes sense.
It makes sense because he also produced, like, he's like.
I feel like more as a producer, he's
like the best hip hop producer or most noble one of probably all time.
Yes,
so
yeah.
I would agree with that.
He does have the Chronic, which is pretty influential.
All right, number 55 is Eric Clapton.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I'm not like a super fan of Eric Clapton, but I can see his musical talent is definitely incredible.
All right, number 54 is Howlin' Wolf.
Yes, he's like a old blues singer, Chicago blues singer. He's really good.
All right.
Him and like Muddy Waters really influenced the Rolling Stones a lot.
Number 53 is the Allman Brothers Band.
I've never listened to their music.
Really?
I don't think so.
I know. I can't think of the song. I know a couple songs, I think. Ramblin' Man. That was the one. And Midnight Rider. I know both those songs.
Oh, okay.
That's the one I was thinking of. Ramblin' Man's a good song. But, alright, number 52 is Queen.
That seems kind of low to me. But maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah,
just,
I don't know. No, I'm just trying to think. I was trying to formulate a thought there, and I don't know. I don't know if that's... Like, I know they're obviously, like I love their music, but, like... I don't know. I guess maybe I was thinking maybe they'd be like
top 25.
Yeah, or like the 30s or something.
Yeah,
and I was thinking more along that lines.
Because I mean, their songwriting is pretty incredible, and Freddie Mercury's voice and showmanship is amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. 51 is Pink Floyd.
All right. Yeah.
Makes sense. They're on the list, obviously, but
yeah, they're pretty well known as being very good.
All right, number 50 is The Band.
The Band. Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, I mean, I like there's two songs by The Band that I absolutely are honestly probably top 100 of my favorite songs. Their
album Music from Big Pink is really good.
Yep.
And they were the band who played with Bob Dylan, and then they kind of just created their own band.
All right, number 49 is Elton John.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
For people that don't know, one of the craziest fun facts about Elton John is that he has been with the same songwriter for his whole career.
Yeah, because he doesn't write the lyrics.
He doesn't write. He writes the music melody-wise, but he doesn't write any of the lyrics. Yeah. And he never has.
If you've seen Rocket Man, you know that, because that's what the whole movie's about, basically.
Yeah. Which I just find that crazy.
Yeah. Through like all the crazy stuff that he went through too.
Mm-hmm. I know.
To still have like
he
same
definitely had a crazy
writing partner.
Yeah. Crazy. So 48, as we talked about before.
There they are.
Run DMC. Yeah, I definitely think they're pretty innovative for the hip hop group for sure. They were one of the early hip hop groups.
Yeah, in the 80s.
So I do like I really do like that style of kind of what the 80s brought for hip hop.
Yeah, it definitely has its place. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I couldn't listen to that all the time, but yes.
All right, number 47 is Patti Smith.
Yeah, she's amazing. Her album Horses, she's one of the only like women in punk basically, but so good.
All right, number 46 is Janis Joplin.
Yeah. Wow, just back to back, amazing women artists.
You knew she was gonna be on here.
Yeah, she was so incredible, and she was actually with a band, Big Brother and the Holding Company. She only had one solo album, and then she died, obviously.
All right, 45 is the Byrds, who we talked about with somebody else before on this list.
We were talking about the Byrds with
He was on.
Graham.
Yes.
What was his name? Graham Parsons.
Yes. Yeah. I believe so.
Yeah, the Byrds are really good. They have a very unique style for that, like, 60s kind of era.
Yeah, so 44 is Public Enemy. Not surprised at all.
No. They made a very, very big impact on not only, like, music and rap music of that time, but also just, like, political, like, meanings to their songs.
Yep. They're fantastic. 43 is Sly and the Family Stone. Sly and the Family Stone.
Yeah, which you didn't know who they were when we did our 500 greatest albums list.
Oh.
But they're an amazing group. They're from like the 70s.
Gotcha. All right, number 42 is Van Morrison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very good songwriter. He was in the band before he did his solo stuff, and obviously Brown Eyed Girl is like one of his most popular, but he's got so many other great songs.
Yep. He's like, in my mind,
Into the Mystic.
Yeah, in my mind, he's kind of like Tom Petty, where they have a kind of similar kind of style of tone, and I really like that. See, I hit the mic, hitting the mic, because I talk in my hands.
You gotta hit the mic at least once a podcast.
But that's, I kind of like that 60s, 70s kind of, that kind of style with like Tom Petty and Van Morrison. Mm-hmm. I like that style quite a bit. So 41, no surprise there on the list, is The Doors.
I'm surprised. I thought they would be higher. I feel
closer to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I agree. So I think like.
I mean, they're just like renowned as a great band.
I mean, LA Woman alone is one of my favorite
and
albums.
like the fact that their debut album came out in the 60s is just like, what? Like that sound was in that time period. It's crazy.
So 40 is Simon and Garfunkel. And I'm not the biggest Simon and Garfunkel
Really?
fan.
Have you ever listened to...
But I've also only listened to a few, like obviously
their hits and stuff.
Their hits, but I only like
their album. What's the what? Their
the one that was in The Graduate, the movie.
Mrs. Robinson.
Yeah, Mrs. Robinson.
Yeah, their album Bookends is my favorite, and it's incredible. Like, you have to listen. Like,
Gotcha.
They have a song called, I think it's just called America, on that album, and it's so good.
So, yeah, I mean,
but I really like the folky kind of music. So if you're not into that, I don't.
Gotcha.
You know.
All right, number 39 is David Bowie, which I think that's he should be closer to 20, but
I feel like they're kind of hitting all
I don't know. I wonder what's going to be down there.
Yeah, they're hitting all the like go-to like.
See, that's not even like me just
good
being
artists.
Like if I like the artist, I just think like doing it. I would just
like who else? Yeah,
like,
I don't know who else they would put.
Would have bet David Bowie in the top 25% for sure.
Yeah.
Number 38 is John Lennon.
That seems low.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to be down there. When we get to the top 20, I'm curious.
I mean, I haven't really listened to his solo stuff very much, but I mean, he was an amazing musician.
Yeah,
I thought he would be so much higher.
All right, number 37 is Roy Orbison.
Yeah, he did like Pretty Women.
Oh, gotcha. All right, 36 is Madonna.
All right.
I mean, yes, she should probably be on the list, but
can I just say that? So Britney Spears wrote this one, and she said, "I'm sorry, but I'd rather meet Madonna than the President of the United States," which I think is kind of hilarious.
I mean, I think it makes sense because what Madonna did for what nowadays is pop music.
Oh yeah, I mean, like pop music
sense.
And like the female solo artists, like she completely pioneered that whole.
I just don't think she should be like in the 80s.
I love Madonna. I think she's amazing.
Yeah, 36 is just a little high, but all right, 35 is Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Not surprised. We'll move on. 34 is Neil Young.
Yeah, I didn't like Neil Young for a long time, and I recently just like started getting to his stuff because his voice is it takes a little bit.
It does.
You have to acquire a taste for his voice, but yeah, he's very good.
All right, 33 is that Everly Brothers?
Yeah, they were kind of a 60s duo. They, what's their famous song? Bridge Over Troubled Water, I think. Well, they sang a version of that.
Okay, yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. Just more old 60s stuff, honestly.
That's what a lot of this is. 32 is Smokey Robinson and the Miracles.
Yeah. Smokey Robinson, in the music industry, he was all over. Like, he helped write so many different songs that is pretty impressive.
All right, number 31 is Johnny Cash.
Yes.
I agree. And I am biased because he would be in my top probably 5. So
yeah,
if we did this list, I love Johnny Cash though. So.
He would be so much higher on my list, that's for sure.
It was written by Chris Christopherson, which is interesting.
Part of the Highwaymen?
Part of the Highwaymen. says Johnny Cash was a biblical character, which is. Boo. Boo. Number 30 is Nirvana. I know why they're on the list, but
yeah,
I'm not the biggest Nirvana fan.
Yeah, I go back and forth. Sometimes I'm really like them, and sometimes I don't at all. So I don't know.
I mean, we did listen to. We talked about Nirvana.
Nevermind was on the 500 top.
Yeah, and I listened through it, and I did like it. I did like that album, and I get why that album is up there, but I didn't like their earlier stuff.
I really like
their first album. I know a lot of people love their first album. I didn't really.
Which one's their first album?
I don't remember, but it's not.
I don't know anything about them, but their MTV Unplugged concert, that's really good.
Yeah.
If you watch that, it's very emotional, and they do a bunch of covers that are super cool.
Sure. All right. Well, 29 is The Who.
The Who.
Not surprised they're on the list at all. All right, number 28 is The Clash.
Yep. Yeah. Classic punk band.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a unique punk band. They had their very own unique style.
All right, 27 is Prince. Yeah.
Just
I mean, I don't have a person like I like a couple of Prince's songs.
Yeah.
I don't have I know a lot of people love Prince, and he definitely is well liked, and I think well deserved to be on this list.
He's not my favorite.
Yeah, I just don't have a big opinion either way.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive how he sang. He played amazing guitar, and he also could perform very well. He kind of had the whole package going on.
All right, number 26 is the Ramones.
Wow, that seems high. I like the Ramones a lot. But as, best artists of all time, I mean, their musicianship wasn't anything special.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's punk music, but...
All right, number 25 is Fats Domino?
Yeah.
Fats Domino?
Very famous piano player back in the day. I want to say 50s, 60s. He's pretty old.
All right, written by Moby. Sorry. Number 24 is Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, I've heard of him, but kind of early rock and roll, as far as I can remember.
All right, number 23, who's our first episode that we did, is Bruce Springsteen. Yeah. I think that's a right rating, actually.
I think that's a perfect rating.
Yep.
Yeah, because
I
wouldn't put him higher.
No. I'd probably do 25 would be the perfect rating for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him higher because he's good, but he's not the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
But he definitely deserves to be pretty high on the list because he had a very unique stylized sound.
He did, and he had
I think he really encapsulated a certain feeling of the 80s and kind of blue collar
he's kind of like a quintessential American sounding musician.
Yeah. He kind of and he really refreshed the scene when he came out with his music.
All right, number 22 is U2.
Oh God, get them out of there.
Yeah, we're not the biggest.
Yeah, I don't like U2 at all.
U2 fan. I think what did for me is with their free Apple song that came out in the mid 2000s that you were forced to have on your freaking iPhone.
It was a power move, and it definitely did not work out in their favor.
22. 21 is Otis Redding.
Yes,
obviously.
I love Otis Redding. He is my favorite soul singer ever.
All right, number 20 is Bo Diddley.
Yes, another early rock and roll person.
Yeah, I don't know. See, it's unfortunate I don't know a lot of these.
Yeah, and all these older ones, I've never really listened to their music because it's 50s rock and roll. Yep. But I've heard their name because they're just so influential, going forward.
Mm-hmm. All right, number 19 is the Velvet Underground.
I'm pleasantly surprised. I feel like this band, it doesn't always get the praise that it's due.
They had an album in the top.
Yeah, their debut with Nico. Mm-hmm. I really like them a lot. I think, again, the fact that their music came out in the 60s is crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Very, ahead of their time.
Number 18, another person we've done.
Yeah.
And now has the top spot as the best album of all time is Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, he should be in the top 10.
Does this feel low to you?
Yeah.
See, I think...
But I think if they redid the list... Well, think about it. If they have... in my rationale is...
But albums do not equal artists to me.
True.
Like, What's Going On is obviously an amazing album, but I feel like as an artist, the rest of his music, I didn't really actually like it that much.
About that. I like 2 albums. There's 2 albums I kind of chose. I remember kind of choosing.
Heard It Through the Grapevine, that album.
Yep.
And that, I think it was
his earlier
Moods
stuff,
of Marvin Gaye.
His earlier stuff is better, I think.
It was a different sound, but yeah.
About that, but it was different.
So to me, that's a perfect placement.
18?
I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, fair enough. All right, 17 is Muddy Waters.
Yeah, he's kind of like Howlin' Wolf again, where he's an old blues player. Oh.
Number 16 is Sam Cooke.
I like Sam Cooke.
That makes
a lot.
sense. See, this rating makes sense to me.
Yeah. I could even go higher, honestly, with Sam Cooke. His voice is so amazing. His songs were incredible.
All right, so we are on to the 15 now. There's only 15
top 15
left.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah.
There's only like 2 people I can think of that
top 10 is
going
to be so interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see who's in there.
All right, we'll get to 15 through 11 first. So Stevie Wonder for 15.
Yeah, I thought he would be higher. Just as a songwriter, he was amazing. Yeah. And just like the amount of hits, like we were just talking about albums and how they're not exactly the artists, but he had like 4 or 5 albums in a row that were just incredible.
Songs in the Key of Life, that's the album.
Yeah, that was the top one.
Yeah.
But in the 70s, he had so many that were just like hits after hits after hits.
All right, 14.
Yeah.
Is Led Zeppelin.
Yep.
And I agree.
I 100% agree. For the albums list, I felt like they were a little low because their like top album wasn't that high. So this actually makes me happy. This makes a lot more sense to me.
All right, 13 is Buddy Holly.
Yeah, kind of in that same vein of like 50s pioneers of rock and roll music.
27 Club, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Da-da-da, the plane crash.
Yep, that's right. All right, number 12 is the Beach Boys.
Okay.
Man, we've talked a lot
about the Beach Boys.
Yeah, we did a whole episode on Beach Boys.
Yeah, but personally, I don't think they're like amazing, but
I don't think they're 12.
No.
They're definitely. I knew they were going to be up though.
I did too.
So
yeah.
But all right, number 11 is Bob Marley.
Okay.
Bob Marley is like.
And he's just one of those figures that are just so iconic.
He's just so iconic in music that it's like not surprising at all.
No.
I'm actually surprised he didn't make top 10 on this list.
Yeah.
But, all right, number 10 is Ray Charles.
So in the top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yep.
He's one of those artists again that just influenced so many people after him that there would be so much music that wouldn't exist without him.
And I wish like for these lists, even like this Rolling Stone list, they unfortunately still didn't have like they kind of had like how they listed him, but like not a complete like this is it was kind of like pulled. They kind of pulled like industry. To get the top 100. So. Which in itself can be, so it's not, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. It's always interesting how they do these lists. But number 9 is Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Number 8, Little Richard.
Again, one of those old rock and roll people.
Yep. A lot of people.
I think that's going to be the top, kind of, the top 5. I feel like that's what's going to be.
All right, we are on to number 7, James Brown.
Yeah.
I think James Brown's good. I don't know if he's...
It's interesting that they're picking all the people who, like, started rock and roll, but not, like, the people who, like, more recently have done different stuff with rock and roll.
Number 6,
okay.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which... Are we doing him this year? No. Did we talk about it?
We're doing him soon, I think.
It's either the end of this year, which I'm not sure, so don't quote me on it. It's either the end of this year or definitely early next year.
Yeah, we're doing him soon, which I think I'm really excited for that episode because I've listened to him a little. He's one of those like 60s people that I didn't really listen to that much, but I'm really excited to actually like dive into his music.
All right, so that was 6, right? So we're on the top 5 here. Number 5 is Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be just
It's just going to be the old, like, classic guitarists and singers and performers. of the 50s and 60s.
All right, number 4 is the Rolling Stones.
I was waiting for them.
I actually thought they were going to be number 2.
I thought they were going to be number 2 as well.
Because I think we both guessed number 1 correct.
I'm assuming number 1, yeah.
But
has Bob Dylan appeared yet?
no, he might be.
He might be up there.
Yeah, he might be 2 or 3.
Yeah,
so
that's
Rolling
what I'm
Stones
thinking.
makes sense.
Yes, obviously they're a quintessential band, British Invasion, and it's still kicking today, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is. Number 3 is Elvis Presley.
Yeah, again, it's just like the origins of rock and roll are, I guess, the best. I don't know. You would think that like as like time progressed that it would get better, or that it would, you know.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Expand upon itself, but wow, we're just mind readers.
Yeah. Number 2 is Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that makes sense.
Just from a lyrical standpoint,
lyrical
he's
and kind of how much
so in depth and complex.
Influence lyrically,
Yeah.
the influences he has is
Yep.
kind of crazy. So.
It's interesting seeing kind of the history of him and throughout the 60s, and he was very, you know, folk and kind of those roots orientated, but then he went electric, and that signified a lot of changes in the music industry at that time. And also just the culture.
Number 1, no surprise, the Beatles.
Yes. We guessed it. What do you know?
I mean, sure. Yeah, I don't know.
I understand a lot of people do not get the hype about the Beatles, and I totally get that. Like, I see both sides as well. Like, are they really the best artists ever?
And that's so like subjective too. Like, these lists are subjective as they are, because it's not everyone even has the same taste in music. So this is more like influentially wise. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I do think that the ways that they expanded rock and also pop music in general and made it more of an art rather than just like this kind of repetitive entertaining thing. They kind of made it more of an expression. And just like the transformation of them throughout their career is also like crazy. So in that aspect, I can definitely see why they're number 1. Would I put them as my number 1? No, probably not.
I don't even know.
But now I feel like now it's so hard to talk about them because like there's just all this like lore around them that they're just like not even people anymore. They're like a whole story in the, you know, the music history.
It's definitely funny though. It's like I definitely like the Beatles for sure. I think they came out in the perfect time for them to excel, to be like known as like the best band of all time. I definitely like, and there's literally a movie about it if they came out today called Yesterday. Not a great movie. I haven't finished it.
Not a great movie, but a cool concept.
But it is a cool idea to think like, okay, so if the Beatles were today,
or to think about like, would they be popular?
Yes.
Like, are their songs that universal? And also to think like, what music wouldn't exist without the Beatles?
Yeah.
Because I think it would be a large swath of music that we know today.
To me, they're the first kind of pop band.
Absolutely.
So, and that definitely influenced.
They kind of transformed rock into pop.
Yeah. All right. Well, any artist that you thought was going to be on there that wasn't?
So, knowing the Rolling Stones, I wasn't that surprised by all the older people. I didn't think they would go so much into like the 50s.
Yeah, like there's a lot of Motown, which Motown's great. Like that. Yeah. That would be a interesting episode if we could find like the best Motown artists or something in the list, because I definitely agree, but there was a lot of Motown on the list.
There's just a lot of people that are like newer that they, you know, obviously
so who
don't
was the
put on.
newest? The newest one was either Eminem or Jay-Z.
I think so, yeah.
And that's not even music that came out in the 2000s. That's 90s.
That's still 90s. So I think this list is kind of a little bit biased, obviously, towards older music, which it's fair. It's hard to tell.
Would you put anyone in the 2000s in the top 100?
Well, as like best artist of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, probably. There can't... I feel like there's no way that there's not bands that are...
I would agree. Like,
you know,
there's had to be at least one that would break.
Yeah, like Foo Fighters. I mean...
Yeah.
They're pretty... And they're still old.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even that new.
It's like, would you even put, like Kanye?
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know.
I think I'd put Kanye on there.
I would add a little more. They didn't have obviously this, and the list
they had
more,
like basically no
more,
alternative music. But
well, because I think
that'd be my whole
the
list.
list also might have also been more towards like rock, so more talking about
it's
rock.
definitely more about rock and roll, but they still had rappers on there.
Yep,
so
they did, but yeah.
So it's
and
definitely not
country,
exclusively.
They did have country artists too, which
yeah,
they didn't
didn't have a lot of country.
No, they had 3.
Yeah, that seems kind of low.
Yeah,
also.
and I mean, I would put Hank Williams Jr. on there for sure.
Yeah, is there anyone that newer that you would put on there?
Newer, I don't know. Like besides maybe Kanye.
Yeah.
I think Kendrick Lamar has a claim to be 100. He could be in the 90s.
Yeah.
I think he definitely.
Yeah.
Even though he only has like 3 albums out, but there's some people that had 1 album. You know that were.
Well, yeah, like
list,
the Sex Pistols were on here, and they had 1 album.
I think.
I mean, I put Amy Winehouse on there, but that's my personal opinion. I think she's incredible, but she obviously didn't have a lot of albums.
Maybe we'll try to find a list that's like a 2000s best
yes.
artist or something.
People who are not dead.
Yes. Yeah, anything else to add?
No, I think that's it. I really wasn't surprised by this list.
Nope.
Rolling Stones, that's kind of their MO is
right?
Having older people. And that's part of the reason why they redid the 500 greatest albums of all time.
Yeah, so maybe they'll redo this one at some point.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess that wraps up.
Yeah.
Another episode 28.
28. We're almost to 30.
Almost to 30. Kind of crazy. I think the next few weeks we're going to do a few more artists. I think 1 more top 10. There are a couple, I think 2 more top 10s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. I think there's 6 episodes left in the year
that
we're doing.
Yeah.
So I don't think we even know what we're doing next week yet. So
no, so I guess
we will let you know.
Stay tuned.
We'll let you know. We don't quite know what we're gonna end up doing next week. Yeah, let us know if you guys have a favorite artist.
Yeah, it probably wasn't on this list.
Yeah, it's it was a subjective list, but we thought it was interesting going through and seeing what like music industry people thought who were the best.
Yeah, because I guess theoretically they're trying to be like very like non-biased about it and like critical about it, where they're like, okay, these are the best, maybe not the most popular, but they're like the best.
Yeah.
But I feel like I feel like they still had a lot of people that were basically just popular. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah. Well, let us know in the comments of our YouTube channel. Go subscribe. Put your notifications on so you get notification when a new video goes live.
Yeah, you can like and comment on the video as well. Follow
us on our socials, Twitter and Instagram, @SongsUntold. Will be no songs on our playlist added this week, but if you want to go back, listen to our other ones that that playlist is on Spotify.
Yeah, and if you didn't check out our Halloween episode, definitely check that one out.
That was a fun episode.
Yeah,
I know it's past Halloween, but those songs are pretty good.
Yes,
so.
Still amazing songs, no matter what time of year.
And then if you're watching on YouTube, well, I'll be linking that. I'll link that video, the Halloween one, on the screen. And
cool.
You guys have a great.
Maybe at some point we'll do our own list of the top.
Yeah, I want
artists.
to do something like that, and it would take a lot of work. And I think we could.
Yeah, we would need
some
time, but I think that would be a fun thing to do.
For sure. So, thank you guys for watching and listening, and have a great rest of your week.
Yep.